That was a bad start. Let me put it there. All right, I believe AD is no longer the global. It's not. There you go. Hey, it's not the global anymore. Good morning, one and all. It's your angry YouTuber here. Today, sorry, I've been called angry YouTuber quite a lot recently. I don't know what I'm angry about. But there you go. We are looking at a prop penalty today. Our final look before we do our tank comparison. And I think we've covered pretty much everything and had a little quick goose at it. Gameplay-wise is what the focus of this will be. Remember that. I'm not interested in what the numbers are right now. That will change. Things are certainly going to change over the coming not very long before this game comes out. But having recently done some mythic raid testing, I can tell you, they are very... They've got to be working hard. They're going to be working hard to get this game finished. I hope they're prepared. Because not a lot of things are working right, guys. Not a lot of things are working right. Anyway, the Protection Paladin. Subject of a lot of scrutiny. I have played this before on the TDP. Shortly after the global cooldown changed. It was one of the specs I demonstrated with. And here's one of the problems with it right here. I got globaled in that video. Like, I was trying to use my cooldowns while they were in the effects of the global. But they've altered some stuff. I believe AD is no longer on the global. Let's try. Not working. Hold on. That was a bad start. Let me put it there. All right, I believe AD is no longer the global. It's not. There you go. Hey, it's not on the global anymore. So I depended not on the global. It was for a little while. How does it feel gameplay-wise? Well, the prop alley is, in the most eyes, certainly in the raid testing, is being declared pretty damn sturdy, actually. It has the problem, when compared to, say, monks and stuff, that you have these periods where you have no mitigation up. That kind of sucks. Right, having no mitigation up is a bad, bad place to be. And prop alleys, unfortunately, just, they only have Shield of the Righteous. That's all you have. I'm taking a lot of damage here. I don't know why. This damage here is not that bad. I've taken this a lot of times. The whole group seems to be dying. Maybe our healer's... I'm sure he's doing his best. Combi Christ. I'm sure Combi Christ is doing just fine. I'm sure he's doing all right, that lad. Yeah. It sure is. It has these gaps. Like, you can't avoid them with the way Shield of the Righteous works. It's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately, is that you have to have these little gaps. So we talked in Legion about layering, the layering of cooldowns and whatnot, which is how Pally's worked. Not quite there in these early gears. And when it's coming to boss swaps and things, they're fine. Right? They can prepare to have a lot of shields ready to go, things like that. What's going on? I've never seen this boss do this. Hold the phone! What's happening? What is this? They've changed this boss? What? Okay, that boss never did what just happened there. Even on normal mode. I've done this dungeon a lot of times. I showed it off like on the very first day it came out. That boss is supposed to split into 3, and then we come together and we form a little handsy hands stand together party as we kill off the ads. Now it just seems to split in 2, and you can stack them. So in fact, it just makes one of the copies. Interesting. One of the complaints I'm hearing though, yeah, a lot of tanks get away with it. I know Slutty's been doing his mythic dungeons, even the very hard ones like King's Rest and Siege of Borealis on a prop paladin. I'm doing fine with it. I think he's been raid testing with it. So they're fine. They're being used. Don't worry about that. They're being used. Even in this world where tanks are getting smashed to pieces, they are getting used. Just certainly if you're used to being able to layer your mitigation properly and prepare for when things switch to you and you're not kind of like just pressing Shield of the Righteous on cooldown like a big derpy. And it looks okay. It looks okay. What about gameplay then? That's what we care about, right? That's what I care about anyway. Is it fun? Not particularly. I mean, I don't think there's any getting away from that, but Prop Alley's kind of been this way for a while. I don't particularly find it fun. If I compare it to the Warrior that we did a video on yesterday, I think, it came out yesterday. The Warrior has lots of choice to make with its mitigation. It has lots of choice in how it wants to use it, what it's going to do with it, which ones are better. The prop paladin by its nature and design is much more passive. Like, a lot of things you pick up, like Holy Shield, for example, for magical damage, it's just a passive. It's just doing its job. It's just a happy, nice little thing. Is there a problem with that? No, not at all. And I think this is what gets lost sometimes. For me, it's not enough. I'm not interested enough in what's happening here. I have a mitigation tool. That's about it. And then I've got a couple of coolies to go with it. And I can pop wings and I kind of look fabulous for a few seconds. But it's not enough to keep me engaged in what I'm doing, unfortunately, from a personal perspective. But for a lot of players, that's more than enough. They don't need to be thinking about all those choices. You know what I mean? They don't want to do that. And I'm okay with that. Not every class is for everybody. That would be crazy. That would be nuts. So from the perspective of a nice, simple style of play, I think the prop is in a really good place for that style of gameplay. If that's what you want, I think it's a little boring. That's all I'm going to say. I think it's a little boring. I have found it that way for a long time. And that certainly hasn't changed in Legion. I mean, the only thing we're actually missing from Legion, I believe, is Eye of Tyr. I think that's it. I think everything else is still here. I do want to talk about one thing, though, and it's the old Light of the Protector. As you can see, I sarcastically named it heals, and my macro for it, heals on the global cooldown. A lot of the people I know who raid on prop pallies really have it as a main character. That's their character, is the prop pally. A lot of those guys are really pissed. And they're really pissed because something that those guys tend to really like about prop paladin gameplay, certainly in dungeon environments, is the fact that, yeah, the tank gameplay is not overly complicated. Let's be honest, it's not, right? It just isn't. But what they really liked was being that support guy. And that support guy heavily came in the form of spreading judgments out, so everyone's getting heals that way. And of course, putting out heals that weren't needed on the tank. If you're comfortable, you don't need extra heals on you, but spot healing members of the group. That's where they really got their fun. Now, with that being on the global, it disrupts your personal gameplay to play that way. Like, there's no getting away from it. It's just interfering with the stuff you want to do. Instead of being able to, like, okay, I pressed something that should be on the global cooldown, so something like Avenger's Shield or, Hammer of the Righteous, I've pressed that, and now I've got a full second or a half second or whatever to sort of just mouse around my party and see what needs doing. I can just go, boom, I can throw a heal on this guy. Now that actually is it's actively interfering with your gameplay to do that. That's a bit of a bummer. Because those guys are, from what I've heard from everybody who's bothered to tell me about it, it's one of the big things they bring up is like, this sucks, because that was a huge fun part of my gameplay, was that I was a tank, yes, but I was also this support tank. That was kind of my niche. That was where I felt comfortable. I felt happy in that role. And I can't do that anymore. Like, Blizzard's just... I mean, I can do it, but it now actively is getting in the way of my other gameplay things. Like, it was a great addition that I had to my ordinary gameplay, which is gone. It's not... But gone's the wrong word. It hasn't gone. It's nowhere near as pronounced as it once was. Like, you're actively... This is kind of a weird ability, the Shockwave. Well, I have to use this to destroy these mushrooms, but I also have to kind of move out the way of it, so I'm kind of, like, lining it up so I can move at the last second. I want to be moving as it does it. That's my point here. As you see, I have a... There we go. No. Nope. Boom. 7 stacks. Well, I can dispel myself because I'm awesome. Well, there we go. We could throw out a spot heal on him. Not enough. You see, that was only like a 9k heal. Not ideal by any means. We're not going to get another explosion anyway, so I can let this guy die. There you go, buddy. There you go. I will say, for the most part, besides that one change, and it's going to, how much that affects you is going to differ player to player, right? That's the nature of WoW. It's not all black and white. But so, other than that, the gameplay is pretty much the same. There's not much different here. This is one of the least changed classes. The changes they did put in, I don't think people are happy with, but the old seemingly battle for Azeroth adage. It's not the end of the world. That'll depend. For some people, yeah, it's you know, that was what I really liked about being a prop paladin, was helping my group out in that way. And now I can still do freedoms and I can still do things like that, but having very regular access to spot heals and stuff, that was really fun for me. And I can no longer do it. And that's pissing me off no end. For me, it's still the same. I think there's better tanks out there gameplay-wise that I would enjoy to play, but if you want the simple style, that's for you, buddy. That's for you. So, having said that, oh, I suppose I should bring up haste. Haste is a big deal for prop paladins. You're right. When will we see a light at the end of the rainbow with the haste situation? I don't know. We're not seeing it in raids right now. And we mythic raided, so we were scaled up toward the first tier of mythic raiding in our raiding last night. Still, gear is not the solution. And I know a lot of people are saying, it's early expansion, it's going to be like that, right? If the mythic raid scaling, which generally easily covers into like the, you know, you should be partway through the next tier, at least at normal and heroic, which is where most people will be, isn't showing that light. Don't count your chickens. They stopped these guys patrolling. Oh, there's changes all over the place in the dungeons. Good God Almighty. Okay, these guys used to patrol because they cast fear. So I'm going to face them this way. Hopefully it'll be clear enough which way their fear is going. You can see it's going that way. Have they staggered the gaze as well? Interesting. They've made it. I wonder if this is normal only. It could be. This is a normal in a dungeon. I wonder what this boss is going to do, because this boss has been a nightmare for a lot of groups. Let's see what happens here. But yeah, I will say that so far I'm not seeing the end of the tunnel on the haste. This is what Blizzard are giving us. That's all I can say. Blizzard are giving us this. I can only tell you what I actually have, not what I think might happen. God, the model on this boss is so good. Look at this guy. He's so beautiful. I love him. Oh, is he killing that one? Kill the bloods. Keep moving around the room. Try and throw out some heals on the party. Again, you do feel, you definitely feel like, it feels like it's the wrong solution is to help your friends, because you need to be focused a little bit on yourself, but throw a heal on him. As I said, you can still do it. There's no getting away from that, and that is a get out of jail for a lot of other people. It's like, well, it's not like they took it away, Preacher, but they made it worse. Let's not be daft about this, right? Let's not be morons. They absolutely made it worse. That's a nice one. That's going over there. That's cool. Swing him a little bit. There's the blood. We'll save our Avenger shield for this one. Beep, 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 beep. Gotcha. Oh, that's going at me. Let's move that there. Well, that kind of sucks. Okay. That's going that way. We're going to have to move here, boys. We are running out of room. The best way of doing this, by the way, is if you all stand with the boss. Like I stand here, right? And you guys stand around here. The cool thing that does is it means he fires the shit all away from the middle, so you don't fill the middle up. Finish this out. This should be it. There we go. GG! Mastery sip from the vial, gaining what? Strength, which decay. Ooh, strength's good. I like strength. I like strength. Very cool. Very cool indeed. The Pro Paladin! If you like it, I think you're still going to like it. But that's about all I can say. Because it don't really do anything else. That is a shame. That is a shame. You remember when I had Thor's hammer that time? That was pretty cool. Not anymore, though. See you later. Bye-bye.